33-year-old Sam Kinison. He specializes in a brand of humor some consider tasteless. In fact, we can't show you very much of his act on network television. But while he might offend you, he has touched a comedic nerve that will earn him over $2.5 million this year in concerts alone. And the word of mouth that keeps packing him in from college towns like Ann Arbor, Michigan, where he is tonight, to the small clubs where Sam Kinison tries out new material that you might be talking about tomorrow.
Oh, Christianity's taking on a whole new press, huh? Jim and Tammy Bakker. I saw his wife. I heard the accusations, wife swapping, homosexuality. I got a good look at this bitch on Newsweek, on the cover of Newsweek. And I said, yeah, I understand it. I'd swap her for a fucking porcupine, man. I'd swap her for a can of soup. How about Tammy for half a sandwich?
A Sunday night at Rascal's Comedy Club in West Orange, New Jersey.
Where in the Bible does it say, yea, for the Lord would have you go out and make a loan and build a water slide so that we could baptize people at a rapid rate? You know?
While the PTL scandal has provided a rich source of material for many comedians, only Kinison can claim to have developed his point of view from the other side of the pulpit. As a preacher's son who followed his father into the ministry.
I was raised by people that didn't even take offerings, that worked jobs to keep the church going and stuff, and it was one of the reasons we lived in the church. Mm-hmm. You know, because my dad probably couldn't have afforded to preach if we didn't, you know. Mm-hmm. And so when I see that kind of stuff, it kind of grates me a little bit. You know, I've seen some really good guys do it for free and out of their heart, which is the way it's supposed to be done. It's like, we've got to have this much by the end of the month, or the devil's fighting us. We need you to support us. It's like, what happened to caring about people? You know, God spoke to us to build a 104-store complex that's going to be called God's Mall. And Christians will be able to come and shop and eat in little places with other Christians and not have to mingle with the sinners and the unbelievers. Originally, I wanted to be a guitar player, you know. I was going to be this world-class guitarist and rock and roll. And then my father passed away, so I was kind of a spiritual experience and went in the ministry for a while. It's kind of like the Julian Lennon kind of a thing, you know. It's like, I'll do it, Dad, I'll do it. I don't want to, you know. I kind of picked up the Grail, you know.
And how long did you do that?
That was a 7-year gig. That was 18 through 25.
Did you enjoy doing this?
Yeah, I did, but I got a little too hip for the room, I guess. You know, I expound on some of these things. You know, well, you know, maybe Jesus isn't coming back, but it's not that bad. You can do things with your own life. It's like, oh, boo, get off, you suck, get off. You know, they don't want to hear that. So, well, we just part friends then. You afraid you might go to hell? No. No. Why would I be afraid of hell? I was married for 2 years. Hell would be like Club Med.
Today he found a more definite image. He found a style. He's got more confidence today. He's completely different than he was 6 years ago. You know, he's developed into a monster, I guess.
Rodney Dangerfield caught Sam's act in the early years when Kinison's shock troupe approach to comedy had him playing to near-empty clubs at 2 in the morning.
When I catch a comic, you see, other people can catch a comic and just walk out and say, oh, what a crazy guy. But I know there was gangs of thought and preparation that go into that. When I used to work at a club years ago, you do your hour and you do great with the audience, they say, hey, that guy's crazy. You're not crazy. You try and do it.
Sam got his big break in 1985 on Dangerfield's Young Comedians cable special, despite the objections of HBO executives worried about his outrageous material.
You never been married? What's your name? Michael? Well, Michael, if you ever think about getting married, if you ever think you've met the right woman, you want to settle down, change your life, you do me a favor, Mike? Remember this face. Because if you get married, Mike, that's going to be your face every day.
You're outrageous as Sam is there a danger of audiences becoming numb to the whole thing?
Well, just saying, using foul language is one thing, but if it fits, then no, I don't think you can catch Sam at 5 minutes and all of a sudden be used to it. No, the bits are too heavy, they're too powerful. It's all, the premises are too wild. It's all funny and his point of view and everything else. And they don't get numb or nothing. They'll just sit there in amazement. That's about it.
Now, is this where you get into your pre-show nervous kind of hypnotic, preparation trance?
After 2 marriages, are you kidding?
But will it play in Peoria? After 7 years of performing everywhere else in America, Kinison finally made it back to the town where he grew up, Peoria, Illinois.
All right, we ready? Let's go break the law.
It was homecoming night, and 2,200 people were eagerly awaiting the gospel according to Sam.
Well, then welcome home, Sam Kinison!
But even in the heart of the Bible Belt, he wasn't about to pull any punches.
Don't you think Jesus may come back? Oh, yeah, he's coming back, folks. What's it been, 2,000 years? He may be up in heaven. They're going, Jesus, why don't you go back to earth? Why don't you go back and be a symbol of peace and love to the world? He's going, yeah, sure. Sure. No, I'll go back. I'll go back as soon as I can play the piano again. I'll be right there. Thanks a lot. Like being the only savior that can use his hand as a f***ing whistle.
Between shows, Sam met and reminisced with the friends and relatives who had influenced his early spiritual development.
These are actual cousins. These are actual cousins. I had a crush on her as a little kid. Get a shot of this.
Do they have the real stories now? Do you have the real stories about what he was like?
This is like my hottest cousin.
Yeah.
I was in love with her. You know how Illinois people are.
Among the backstage guests, Sam's mother, who doesn't flinch when she hears her son's act. Let me hear your defense of your son. Come on, let me hear your defense.
Defense?
Yeah.
He needs no defense.
Oh, there it is. See, the best defense is no defense.
He says a lot of truth.
Yeah.
That other people don't have the courage to say. And let's face it, he's having fun doing it.
He shakes up a lot of people. He shocks a lot of people. Some people even
But he
walk
helps
out.
people. They run and they line up to say, hey, man, I'm getting married next month, and you've helped me. You have changed my life.
This was always the cleaners, the East Peoria cleaners. This was a dentist's office right across the street. I don't know what it is now.
As a boy, Sam would sit on the steps of the Kinison family church, also their home, and daydream about building a raft and floating downriver to more exciting places.
No way! Is that you, Lyle? Jesus, this is the kid I grew up with.
No.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I thought you might show up at the show, man. How you been? 10 years, man.
I hear you.
You guys were teenagers then, right?
No, we knew each other from like first grade on.
Oh, really?
I think, yeah.
Way back.
Yeah, he lived right back here, right behind me.
So did...
We were best friends. He was like my childhood best friend.
Did he
Hanging
ever
out in the
scream?
woods.
Did he ever scream back then? Huh?
Oh, yeah.
He did.
He could scream. He always had a real bright red face, too. Veins pop out of his neck.
The screaming was the easy part. The timing and delivery were perfected in the small churches of the Midwest.
Get a little excited, and you've got something you're talking about. It's not a joke. It's not something that just comes off the top of your head to make a room laugh, but it's something that gets people excited from the bottom of their foot to the top of their head. It kind of goes something like that.
Here's what most people were saying about you in the beginning. They were saying they couldn't believe how you took an audience and really just got them in the palm of your hand. You know, you went out and literally kind of repulsed them and then just took them back.
Well, a lot of people come to the show on the shock value thing. I think they're going to be shocked.
Yeah.
I think they're going to hear some really vulgar stuff. They don't count on agreeing with me. That's the surprise, you know. They don't expect that, I don't think. I don't think they expect to go, you know, this is a valid point of view here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. I could get a good woman. I know that. I could get somebody who'd really probably be a good friend and very nice for me in a decent relationship, but I'm hooked on these f***ing psycho, neurotic bitches from hell. I go over the Heartbreakers, folks. Like those women that come up to you and go, is that your heart? You know. I used to clear out rooms like a fire drill, you know, the same material, and then like you see on television a couple times or in a movie, and all of a sudden, it's great. You can't say enough. You can't do it, you know. I'd have to execute somebody to really offend them, I think.
Do you ever take a peek at the audience ahead of time and say, you know, the stuff on Jesus Christ isn't going to work with this group?
When I was in the South on tour, yeah, there's a couple nights I thought I shouldn't do it. Then there's another side of me goes, do it, you know. Once I tell myself I shouldn't do it, there's another thing that goes, yeah, you should. Come on, do it. It'll be fun. Watch their faces. Pat Robertson said Jesus, told him to run for the President of the United States. And I said, I think Jesus' last audible words were probably,